Thank you for tuning to Acquired Taste Media. Make sure you click the link in the bio. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. Really appreciate the love. So, today, here we go. Miscommunication 101 with our black women. It just seems as though communication is just not something that black women are into. Specifically this one. And this is just one example. I can give you a million more, okay? Where communication is just not there, right? Or let's not even say not there. Let's bring it back. Let's say women communicate what they want to communicate, even though that's not really what they need to be communicating. Wait for a second. What I'm saying, listen to what she has to say. And I'm going to break it all the way down after she's done. Let's listen to this.
What I did. So before he came to my apartment, I had a conversation with him about payment because I didn't want for him to come.
Start. I want to start from the beginning. Can I start from the beginning?
And I didn't like him.
Let me start from the beginning. I want to start from the beginning. All right, start from the beginning. Damn.
Anytime I tell this story, no one ever agrees with me. But I swear, when I think about it, I'm right. So when I first moved to Atlanta, I didn't know anybody.
She said, when I think about it, I'm right.
With this guy,
okay.
Right? We had been talking, I think, for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I got a good vibe. So anyway, I had asked him if he knew any handy people because I had a lot of like furniture coming into my apartment, and I needed help putting it together. Although I did not know him well enough, I trusted him enough to come to my apartment. Now, in hindsight, that was probably a bad idea, but it is what I did.
It's okay.
So before he came to my apartment, I had a conversation with him about payment because I didn't want for him to come and I didn't like him and then he felt like he got. So we talked about payment and I told him I'd give him a certain amount for him putting together like 2 pieces of furniture. Well, He put together a bed and a desk. So I don't remember exactly how much we agreed on, but I did say I was going to sell him the money.
Okay.
So when he came over like early the Saturday morning and he ended up like starting right away. He was definitely somebody that I could see myself talking to on the long haul. So it was cool. Like he was we were getting to know each other. We were talking about family. We were talking about life, all this kind of stuff. Okay. So around lunchtime, I ordered us something to eat. And as we were eating, we were like really talking, right? It was good. So when he was done, he kind of like chilled for like another couple of hours just to like rest. And we were really vibing. And he was like, I would really like to see you again. And I was like, cool. So when he's ready to go, we go outside and he gives me a hug. And then he was like, okay, so I'm going to text you my Zelle information so you can send the payment. And I'm like, okay. In the moment, I was just a little shocked, but I didn't like let it on. I was just like, okay, just text it to me. So the next day I sent the Zelle payment and I was just like, oh, thank you for coming over. I really appreciate it. And then I didn't say anything else. And he was texting me and I did not respond. And he wasn't used to that because obviously we have been like texting all day long, you know, talking throughout the day. It was good at that time. But then I just decided that the fact of him asking me for money after like we had a good day. And I do understand that we agreed upon it, but I just thought it would be different since we were going to start dating. So finally, he asked me, like, what's up? And I was just like, honestly, I know we decided that I would pay you for that, but I really thought it was tacky that you actually asked me for the money afterwards, and you took it. So I did end up cutting it off, and we didn't talk again. But when I told my cousin about it, she was like, you guys agreed on it. Like, I don't understand what the problem was. And honestly, like, if I'm going to date you, and, you know, you put together some furniture for me, you're going to charge me? I don't know, like, what do you guys think?
We weren't dating at the time, dummy. What the fuck? So, this is a prime example of why, in my opinion, a lot of the relationships in the black community between black men and black women are non-existent. Don't exist. Very hard to cultivate. All of this shit breaks down to communication, right? And honestly, the communication was great until something didn't go her fucking way. And that's usually how this shit works, okay? You can have a woman who, she will communicate with you like no other woman ever until some shit goes wrong or some shit that she don't like happen, okay? Then that's when shit changes. Now, instead of her communicating that, hey, from the jump, hey, you know what? Because she could have told that nigga that day that he said, hey, sell me the payment. And she was like, okay. She could have said it that day, like, hey, she could have zelled him the payment and said, hey, you know what? I really appreciate you, putting my stuff together, but I really don't think this is gonna, I really don't think I want to date you, or I really don't think this is gonna be, all that. So I appreciate you coming through, boom, but I ain't feeling you like that. She could have said that as soon as she sent the Zelle payment. But what did she do? I don't like this nigga. But instead of just telling him the reason that I don't like him no more, I'm just not gonna say nothing. And just have this nigga continuously texting me, asking me what's going on and what's up. Until I finally want to break down and tell him, oh yeah, you asking for that money was tacky, and yeah, we can't date. Bitch, you could have said that the same day he fixed your shit and you gave him the payment. That would have been a lot more cooler and a lot more polished than the shit you did. That is why there's such a big breakdown of communication in the black community, because a lot of it comes from you black women. Okay? Period. This is what black women do. They be cool, everything be sweet, and then something they don't like happens. And then inside their brain, they mentally cut a nigga off before letting him know that he's cut off. Instead of when the idea hits and you say, oh, you know what? I ain't fuck with this nigga no more. Hey, you know what? I like you. Everything's cool. But you know what? I don't want a relationship. I ain't trying to fuck with you no more. Boom. I'm out. That's not how women work. Women want to pretty much dog you, right? But they don't want you to ask them what's going on. Like, they want to dog you. Like, because literally, if you, in your head, have said, I'm not calling this nigga no more, you have literally dogged me in your head. Now, I don't know you dogged me because I don't know what's in your fucking head. But I can tell you, if you're already thinking, I'm not dating this nigga no more, then you dogging me already in your head. But instead of you saying, instead of you texting me right then and there, okay, at that time or even around that time, you wait. Okay, you have me texting and everything else. You have me chasing you, kissing your ass in so many words, just so you can turn around and be like, you know what, I really wasn't feeling you because you asked for the payment. But we agreed on the payment, though. You said you're the one who said you wanted to pay. I literally, as a man, told you that I'm cool, I don't need the money, you good, and you insisted. You insisted on paying. And then after you insist on paying, and he asks you for the payment, you tell this man that was tacky, and that you don't want it. What? Yo, this is why Kevin Samuels was the Godfather, man. Because this is the type of shit that black men have to deal with. So you had a good man. This nigga came over. First off, once again, off top, he told you didn't have to pay him for nothing. But because you thinking like a woman, and you thinking like, well, if he get over here and I don't like him, and he act the ass, man, then I'm just going to pay him. That way he don't feel like I used him. First off, like you said, you shouldn't have probably invited him over your house. I don't know how early, but you said y'all was talking for 2 weeks, so I don't think it's a problem with you. If y'all was talking for 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, you invite him over to your house, I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think that's a big issue at all. I think, he probably should have been at your fucking house before 2 weeks. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But anyways, so he comes over, fixes your stuff. Y'all have a good time. Y'all enjoying each other's company. All right? To the point where you feel like you shouldn't have to pay him no money. Because what? Why shouldn't you have? Did he or did he not do the work that you asked him to do? Oh, well, you think because y'all had a good conversation that's going to pay his fucking bill? That's going to put gas in his fucking car? No. Your conversation don't mean shit. What means something is you going to pay me. And once again, if he even offered for you not to pay him and you told him that you wanted to pay him, what the fuck is the problem? This is why black men and black women have issues dating. Because black women have issues dating. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, that might have been the guy for you. But obviously it's not the guy for you because he actually wants to be paid for his work. And because I'm let me calm down. And because he wants to get paid for his work, all right, that's a turn off for you. That turned you off. Oh, after I told you I was gonna pay you, now you're gonna ask me for payment? So, this is why black men, and once again, I believe that from what I heard, and I don't know, I'm gonna have to double check this, but from what I heard, the word in the streets is divorces are up, right? People are getting divorced left and right. And what they're saying is that people who are filing for divorce are women. And they say a lot of the divorces that they're filing for is based off of what? Miscommunication. And the reason that women are filing is because men, we're not filing because we already know it's not that serious. But some women will take something as small as a mustard seed and blow that shit up into the motherfucking atomic bomb. Okay? She can take something as small as a mustard seed and drop that bitch on your ass like Hiroshima. That's how small, that's how big a woman can make a small thing. Okay? And as men, all we can do is roll with the punches, like Floyd. You know what I'm saying? That's all we can do is roll with the punches, and just, and just trying to get knocked out. You feel me? Trying to get knocked out. You gotta roll with the punches. Don't let them knock you out. Roll with the punches. You know what I mean? Because they don't be, man, half of them is fucked up. Let's just keep the buck. Half of them is fucked up. All right? Half of them is fucked up. All right? Didn't have no fathers at home. Okay? Mom was always at work, or mom had niggas running in and out, acting like they ain't had no goddamn sense. Like, a lot of y'all are traumatized. A lot of y'all need fucking therapy. You know what I mean? Like, I would say this young lady here needs therapy. I hope she goes on a consistent basis, because the way that she's looking at life, she's definitely gonna end up with a fucking drug dealing ass thug nigga. Like, that's what you obviously want. Like, you don't want a man who's gonna stand on his principles and say, okay, if I say, if you say you're gonna pay me, then I want my money. Nah, you don't want that nigga. You want that nigga gonna be like, oh, bitch, nah, you ain't gotta pay me shit. It's cool. I'm good. We good. That's the nigga you want. So I hope you find him. I really do. Hope you find him. The nigga that you need was right there in your face. The nigga that you want, that's the nigga gonna run out there and gonna dog you. So do what you do. We appreciate the love. Thanks for tuning in to Quiet Taste Media. Peace.